Thomas Friedman reports the New York Times. He's one of the most influential journalists around the world, and his books are well known in China. Here are some key highlights from his interviews. China and US boast their own systems. We're rivals and partners economically, technologically, geopolitically, and so on. But our fates are really tied together. Both countries cannot prosper without a healthy relationship and interdependence with each other. Any global problem can be solved by US-China cooperation. Because both countries have their hardliners who think the worst of the other. And this goes against the idea of one country, two systems, and can make the world become worse. Not just surface, but the acknowledge of the country by spending a lot of time to learn. Have someone you trust in a strange country to avoid biases or misperceptions when you're going to get a problem. Keep his head as a journalist. When President attacked him, he responded in a respectful way to gain respect from listeners. These are two most powerful human emotions. If I humiliate you, you will never listen. But if I respect you, you allow me to say to you. If you go, you talk to people there, it could balance out what you hear to the signal around the noise. The story in real trend but not the sayings on Twitter, Facebook, and other social media. Reporter exists only for serving readers, but not for serving him or herself when telling stories. Whether journalism is on web, Twitter, Chinese TV, or New York Times, if you build a diamond-hard reality around your journalism based on good reporting and analysis, you'll get more right things and win. For the past 40 years, the two countries had economic ties and diplomatic collaboration, like student travel, tourism, and big issues. There is a level of mistrust in the relationship. Two sides have different views to go ahead. The majority in both countries are really benefited from enjoyed and want to see the prosperity continue. There's still a huge amount of trade between US and China, and two countries are too big and too important to the whole fate of the world. There's still a huge necessity for us to work together to fix the marriage. The relationship is just full of anxiety and mistrust. It's not healthy and needs a complete reboot. We'll be in a less prosperous world and will be a less stable and secure world. We cooperate wherever we can, but we're also going to disagree and compete on important things. We need to hear the bottom lines of each other and try to fix what is bothering us. China and the United States take joint action against climate change. China and America compete with each other for who can invent the most clean green technologies, because the climate mitigation is only going to work if China and America are working together now. Because there was a lot of unconscious, China and America could become the real one country, two systems. The globalization could happen in the world in the last 40 years and the world become more prosperous. We would benefit from each doing something a little hard, make respectful conversation, and take steps to break what is kind of a fever right now. He hopes China lifts its restrictions on foreign journalists and US lifts restrictions on Chinese journalists. He also wants as many Chinese students as US can possibly fit getting American universities. China's focus has always been on the collective and stability, while American value is putting much more primacy on the right of the individual to express themselves. We could try to build up the trust by starting from small states. When America was a bully after Cold War, the world began to against US. China and US both need to give each other a new look, get each other's attention again. 1. Cooperation is necessary for both countries, while differences on values or something else could also exist. 2. The world also needs both countries to be cooperated to be more prosperous. 3. As a journalist, stick to the reality but not the voice on webs.